Everything wasn't really smooth for the colonizers coming to take African countries. They really suffered a lot to get most of these countries. And this is part of the history which you maybe don't hear about often. And today I'm revealing to you some of the major losses of colonizers in African countries. Big part of the history written by the colonizers again couldn't have enough time to show what were the losses of colonizers in African countries, which somehow can also be explained by you can't show the weakness of your forefathers. But also the result of that is that it made that Africans looks like colonizers just had to come into African countries, take any which they wanted, and then get back by the time when African countries wanted independence. But it wasn't the case. They lost many lives, so many soldiers, money, or a lot of things, you name it. But here are some of the events which I'm going to show you in which colonizers lost a lot. Did you know that Portuguese lost around 6,338 lives just to get the few countries which they got in Africa? I mean, Portuguese among the people who didn't get a lot of countries in Africa, yet they lost 6,000 and more lives. Germany lost all their colonies in Africa after the World War from the Treaty of Versailles. France also lost the majority of their soldiers that they had to start working with soldiers from their colonies, and they literally created an army from Africa to help the army in France. But to be more practical, here are some of the events which literally happened with dates in which you can know what exactly happened when colonizers lost. In Tombe Drift, 12 March 1879, in Zululand, the Zulu attacked the British who were camping somewhere and unalived 80 soldiers and ended up devastating the whole camp of British. Elbejet, December 1889, a German attacked a Maasai village in today's Uganda, and the Maasai, after being captive to him for a few times, others who were under a hill regrouped themselves to attack and fire back against the German soldiers and ended up chasing them away, taking back control of their village. The Frankie expedition, 11 February 1895. Frankie wasn't allowed to pass through the kingdom of Azande, which is in today's Congo, but he ignored what authorities told him that he shouldn't pass through that kingdom and decided to go in it. Unfortunately, he was attacked, circled by the army of Azande people, and got beaten, and all his munitions were taken by the Azande kingdom. These are just some of the few of the wars or events in which colonizers lost in Africa. And for the side of history which never showed this, the reason being the people writing the history can't explain why they failed. But since you know it today, let's accept that Africans really fought hard against these colonizers, sometimes not having enough guns or munitions as much as them, but they really fought against them. This should just be a reminder to you that you should define your values. It doesn't matter how small you are, defend yourself. Thanks so much for being here. Catch you next time. Hey, my name is Bertin and I'm sharing 100 real stories about events which happened in Africa. And if you want to know more about them, follow or subscribe.